Hello, Kim. Welcome on. So happy to have you here today. So, what I always like to do just to start is to have you tell us who you are, where you're from, and then some of the other modalities that you are currently offering.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for having me, first of all. I'm in Sydney, Australia, so on the other side of the world, and been doing spinal energetics for just over 2 years, 2.5 years, and absolutely love it. I actually started my energy work or energy healing in food, so that's the half of what I do is the food energetics and understanding that there's energy in food and how we treat the body from the inside out. And then I progressed into energy work or energy healing. I guess my window was through Reiki many, many years ago.
Mhm.
I built the sensitivity in my hands and in my body and built that connection. And then I have explored many different modalities on the body, more, yeah, sort of on the body, things like acuenergetics, which works with meridians and acupuncture points, acupressure points, restoring balance in the body. And some intuitive work and shamanic healing. And then when I saw spinal energetics, I think like most of us, we saw it and we're like, what is that? Or you're just intuitively drawn to learn more. And what it's given me is the permission to go beyond just the physical body or, in a subtle body, but like out into the field, the energetic, bioenergetic field. So that's what I love. That's a very short summary
Right.
of come in my probably, what has it been? Probably about 15, 20 years of journeying, but really in the last 6 years, really honing in on my hand skills and energy work and spinal energetics has been a big part of that. So yeah, I offer spinal energetics level one, level two, shamanic healing, intuitive healing. They're kind of weaving together at the moment. I find that a lot of us with other modalities, which is most of us, so it's a beautiful complement to other modalities. Yeah, it's just a fantastic way to access the body through the nervous system. Fine. So yeah.
Uh, it's my favorite thing to ask other practitioners their background and what it is that they've also experienced and what all tools you have in your tool belt because it's impossible to not utilize all the experience and the knowledge that you have. So it's beautiful to see and to hear everyone's backgrounds and what they're pulling from exactly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
I'm curious too. You said food was your like initial background. So is it Ayurvedic? Like,
It's Chinese medicine. So it's
yeah.
the parallel to Ayurveda, but in the five elements world. So yeah, I call it five element nutrition. I coined that term. It's nothing new. It's just a new way of expressing it. Otherwise known as Chinese medicine dietary therapy, which is fine too. But looking at, yeah, the energies of food, how that affects our organs, our emotions, our mental states, the flow of energy in the body, through the organs and yeah, cultivating and nourishing the body from the inside. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like to do many things. I wear many hats. So, but it's all connected. Everything's energy. So
Right.
that's the
Right.
that's the beauty of it.
So I know you spoke on just like an intuitive feeling towards spinal energetics, but what was it exactly that pulled you in or made you say, like, yes, I want to experience this?
I like to try anything once to see if it works for me. So I'm a very, very curious soul. So but yeah, before I saw it, actually a friend of mine did the training first, and I was fascinated. She's a breath worker, and I'm like, what's that? And so I had a session, not with her, but someone online. Actually, my first session was online, and I felt things. I was moving, and I loved it so much. Then I went to have an in-person session. And I think what drew me is the feeling. It's such a unique feeling to be connected, and not everyone is, connected into their breath and their nervous system because that's not something we learn at school. But what drew me in was the feelings. I'm a feeler, so I have to feel everything
Mhm.
to believe it, but also to benefit or excuse me, experience it. So yeah, I just jumped straight in and had a session. And then I was like, yeah, this is real, all the hand waving and
Mhm.
the noises and whatever. It's real. And I think yeah, it was couple of years ago, it might have been ahead of its time, but I'm seeing that, more people are open to working on the body, off the body, and the understanding that there is an energetic field is an exciting time, I feel, in this space, in health and wellness.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So you mentioned that your first session was online. You experienced a little bit of movement. Can you tell me more about that first session, what that experience was like for you?
Yeah, again, I believe anything until it's proven otherwise. So, some people are like, you can't do energy work online. I'm like, yes, you can. Just like we're talking through, the computer right now, that everything's energy and frequency. So, my first session, I was lying on my back at home in the spare room on the carpet, put the computer on, and this lovely practitioner was like, okay, explaining what spinal is. I'm like, just go for it. I'm open and I'm ready. And so yeah, I was lying there and it's like you have to allow the movement to happen. And in the first session, it's probably the hardest, just to overcome the thinking mind. But I was able to drop into it, and yeah, I started moving. I started noticing movement mainly in my neck and my upper thoracic, and just little twitches and little shakes, and then a little bit in my arms. But I could feel energy moving through my back and spine. So that was pretty cool. And then it wasn't a huge session. It was my first session. I was on my back, but there was definitely movement and there's a lot of feeling and some sensations. So I was like, okay, something's moving, something's shifting. And then what I really noticed is when I finished the session, I stood up and I was walking around the house and oh, this is a very different sensation. And I was, fully in my body. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't, questioning it. I was just going with what I was feeling. And then, yeah, I went outside and stood on the grass and was like, I gotta learn this. This is great.
Yeah, I definitely agree with, that's the first thing I tell my clients as well, is like, go put your feet in the dirt. Like you're going to need that, that grounding after. So
hmm
you started noticing some of those changes effects immediately after, but what were some of the things that you started to notice in your life, internal and external, the days that followed?
I don't remember like the next day, off the top of my head, but I do remember. For me, it's about connection. I think like I just speak. I see it in clients, but for myself, it's more that connection with yourself and understanding, bodily sensations or thoughts. Um, we talk a lot about in spinal energetics, things can come into alignment in your life, in your external world. But for me, as I said, I'm a feeler, so it came through the body first. So I started feeling things, noticing things, observing things, and then you can respond to what your body's telling you, whether it's a physical thing or a thought or an emotion. Um, I think pretty soon after I went for the in-person session because I was like, let's get more. And then we have a Sydney community as well. So I was just
Mhm.
connecting with other people who've done the course and a few who were doing the course. And then I enrolled pretty much straight away to do the training. But yeah, so after the two sessions, I would say, I think it was within a week or two. Um, I just started feeling lighter, like on a physical level, emotionally, yeah, more connected, um, and yeah, just feeling energetically more aligned. If I don't know if anyone's listening understands it, I'm assuming most people would, but you just feel more in tune and aligned with yourself. So things come in through your field, through your awareness, through your life, through experiences, and you're more grounded and able to respond to that, not react so much. But yeah, it's like with any modality, I feel it's an ongoing practice. Same with, massages or going to the gym. Like you don't do it once, um, and then that's it. So yeah, it's been an ongoing thing for me.
Right, right. And so that's kind of what leads me into my next question. So it is an ongoing practice, but what is it that keeps you coming back? What keeps
Mm.
you coming back to the sessions, getting back on the table and sinking
Mhm.
back into receiving spinal?
Yeah, again, it's the feeling of lightness. I call it sometimes, and I feel effervescent. I feel like bubbly and sparkly, like you just feel light.
Mhm.
As well as being mind, but it's more of a lightness first, and then clarity. I feel at the end of the session, I just feel, as I said, this like bubbly feeling of just lightness. Everything. that we are holding in our physical body, or for me, you just feel more spaciousness. So if there's like physical things can be lightened as well as the mental state. Sometimes I'll have neck stiffness or shoulder stiffness, and I'll go in and have a session, and then it's like, oh, there's more freedom and movement and space, because we're working in the energetic layers of the body. So what keeps me going back is again the feeling of being lighter, clearer, having more mental clarity, and physical ease in the body.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that, Kim. My last question, it's my favorite question to ask everyone. If you could describe spinal energetics with just one word, what would that
Yep.
be?
Um, Liberating
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
all layers. So physically liberating, as I said, if there's something going on. I've also last year had some hip stuff going on, pressure build up. So again, it's just like liberating in the physical, hips, left and right hips was just like, oh, I just need to unstick myself. Stagnant energy is what I would call it. But yeah, liberation also in the mind, and emotions as well.
Yeah. I totally agree with liberation, but you're the first person who's used effervescent to like describe that feeling you get after as well. And like, that's really sticking with me because I feel that bubbliness, that lightness, that like, and there's this like almost, sensitivity, tingleness, like you just feel that much more aware of
Yeah.
internal and external. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
pocket that effervescent. Use that for
The
later.
more the more of us that feel effervescent, not every day, but more days of the week
Yeah.
and the month, better. If everyone was more effervescent, the world would be a better place.
I totally agree. So, Kim, I appreciate you taking just a little bit of time to chat with me and to share your story. If you could go ahead and share maybe Instagram handle or a website, where can people find you? And are you currently offering in person as well as online?
Yes, I do in-person and online sessions. So as I said, I'm in Sydney, Australia. We have a lovely community of practitioners here. So if you are in Sydney, then please reach out. Um, and online, yeah, all over the world, of course, depending time zone. And my Instagram, I have two. So one is Chi Food Therapy, which is QI Food Therapy. And then my personal one, which is quite new, but I will be doing all the spinal energetics and energy modalities there is I am Kimberly Ashton, and Kimberly is Ly. So Kimberly. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, I will be
Good luck.
sure to tag and add that for people to be able to find and track you down. So again,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Kim. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah. We'll talk soon.